The Minnesota Vikings guys right now are playing high. They are showed out last night versus the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. The defense held the Falcons just to 21 points, and the offense put up 42 points. The Falcons are smoking hot right now, as Laura likes to say. But guys, fact or crap, will the Minnesota Vikings be a one playoff game one and done? Will they be one and done in this year's 2024 NFL playoffs? So as you guys know, Sam Darnold threw for 5 touchdowns last night versus the Atlanta Falcons. 5. He was 5 for 5 with 112 yards outside the pocket, which is a season high, with a touchdown. Jordan Addison 8 last night, JJ 8 last night, and the Minnesota Vikings are one of the hottest teams in the NFC. Unfortunately, they are overshadowed by the Eagles and the Detroit Lions right now, but they are currently on a 6-game winning streak. They play the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football next week, and then they play the Seahawks, Packers, and Lions to end the season. It's a very, very real possibility that they will go 10 games in a row. Very, very real possibility. And if they happen to go those 10 games in a row, and with a little bit of help from the Buffalo Bills, they could get the first overall seed in the NFC playoff race. So when I look at this, and I think about this logically, let's say everything holds face. Everything holds face, and the Eagles continue to win, the Lions continue to win, and then the Vikings continue to win, but then they lose the Week 18 game versus the Detroit Lions. They become the 5th seed in the NFC playoff picture. They will, in theory, if the playoffs were to start today, they will be playing the Seattle Seahawks. They have played a team like the Seattle Seahawks earlier this season. A team that is very, very bipolar. You don't know who they're going to get, right? And that team is the one and only Atlanta Falcons. They beat down the Atlanta Falcons. Seahawks and Falcons are kind of yin and yang. I think they are both the same. But when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, guys, are they going to be a one and done in the playoffs? I want to count them out because of what Alpha Rob said earlier. Sam Darnold is still your quarterback. Sam Darnold has no playoff experience. Hell, Kevin O'Connell has very, very little playoff experience. And truth be told, we talk about teams that need to lose. The Lions, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, to reset, to really calibrate themselves going into the playoffs. But truth be told, if the Vikings lose a game, it could be disastrous for them moving forward. Because who do you want to lose to? Do you want to lose to the Chicago Bears? Hell no. Do you want to lose at Seattle the following week? Hell no. Potential playoff matchup, right? Do you want to lose to the Packers? Definitely no. Do you want to lose to the Lions at Detroit? Hell no. So the Vikings, I feel, guys, they're going to be playing balls out the rest of the way out. If the Buffalo Bills beat the Detroit Lions, you better damn well know they'll be playing balls out 100%. To the window, to the wall. To the collapse falls down my balls. Guys, I think the Minnesota Vikings will be a one and done in the playoffs. I think this is a fact. Just because the NFC playoffs are kind of pretty tough. They're pretty tough. If you get the number 1 overall seed, you might be a little bit tired. That bye is going to be great, but you're going to be 10 games in a row. Winning 10 games in a row is tough for anybody, right? It is very, very, very tough. Look at the Detroit Lions. They're starting to get a little sluggish, get a little tired. Hell, the Buffalo Bills won 8 games in a row. Got a little sluggish, got a little tired. It is what it is. If they get the first overall seed, by default, they would probably be playing, let's say, if everything holds face, they would be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round. Lions versus Eagles, and then Vikings versus Bucks. You don't want to mess with the Buccaneers. I think it's a fact. What do you guys think? Fact or crap? Will the Minnesota Vikings be a one and done in this year's NFC playoff picture? Alpha Rob says fact. He says it is a fact. It is 100% fact, Alpha Rob. I think we're on the same wavelength, bro. I see it. And as much as I talked up Sam Darnold earlier, I think the ultimate collapse is going to become of Sam Darnold. No playoff experience versus players, teams that do have playoff experience, right? I've said this to my coaching staff before. We have to know how to lose before we can know how to learn how to win. That's why we've never won a championship, because we haven't been there and we haven't really done it before, right? Laura says, I think the Vikings will make it to the second round and then collapse, unfortunately. Skull for whatever happens for the rest of the season. So she thinks they're going to win a playoff game. And she says, crap, Buck. Crap on Buck, she says. Well, crap on you too. And Josh also says, I'm not sure, but Sam Darnold is my favorite player on the Vikings. Really? I mean, he is probably the most rootable person for, right? Him and TJ Hawkinson are probably the most rootable players on the Vikings, just because they have been through the struggles and trials and tribulations, right? Sam Darnold got cut from the Jets, picked up by the Panthers, cut from the Panthers, went to the 49ers, didn't get a new deal, went to the Vikings. Definitely a very, very rootable person, right? And I could see that. But the question is, fact or crap? Will the Minnesota Vikings be a one and done in the playoffs? And I think, and I'm with Alpha Rob, I think it is a fact. I think it is a fact.